A fragrance based on the viral Dubai chocolate, kunafa and pistachio. This is going to do big things in the fragrance industry, and deservedly so. I acquired every Armaf Odyssey fragrance. This is a line I feel like may have been going under the radar. We're doing this video in partnership with Armaf. I want to explore every single one of their fragrances and let you know if they're worth buying or they're not. Like in all our buying guides, we're going to go through each fragrance's scent profile, its performance, when I think you should wear them, / the genders I think should wear them, as well as the final rating out of 10 for each. I've known about a few Odyssey releases. You often see them getting quite good ratings actually online. And I think most of them, for the most part, are around £20 to £30. So let's say 25 to 45 bucks for the most part. Although I know there's some more expensive, etc. It depends which region you're in, of course. We've got 12 fragrances to go through. I'm going to be looking through some of my notes at some point in the video to remind myself of the different fragrances. Let's begin the buying guide. We're going to be focusing on men's / unisex fragrances in the line, but I'll give it a quick shout out and an honorable mention to this fragrance. And that is Armaf's Odyssey Candee, which I believe is quite a new release by Armaf. This is more feminine for sure. This to me smells a little bit fruity, candy-esque, a little bit synthetic, but still a fun fragrance to wear if you want a youthful, feminine fragrance to buy for a special someone, or if you want to buy it for yourself. This is the kind of fragrance that you've got to go for. It seems to last a good amount of time as well. Bright, a little bit green, fruity, playful, youthful. That's the kind of vibes you're getting with Odyssey Candee. First up, let's go with the original, and that is Odyssey Homme. This fragrance really surprised me. You think the title or namesake of the line would be more of a fresh, safer DNA, but actually this is more of a dark evening scent, so the bottle suits it. This to me, I said in my notes, is about 70% Noir Extreme. It's sort of like Noir Extreme, but they took away the coffee here. This smells dark, spicy, floral, vanillic, ambery. It's kind of like if you like fragrances like Noir Extreme or Grand Soir, kind of mixed them together. This fragrance doesn't smell as expensive as them, but it actually smells very good quality for its price tag. I think you can get this for like £20. This smells very expensive, a very good date night fragrance. 6 to 8 hours with a soft to medium projection is what I got. And it's very smooth. It does stay quite linear, so it's not the perfect fragrance to me. It stays very linear. It is a very safe fragrance though overall. If you want a really solid, safe date night fragrance, this is very good. This is a good start to the line. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Then we'll go with this massive Odyssey Homme White Edition. This looks like something you'd take out camping. This is huge. It's quite an interesting packaging design. Odyssey Homme White Edition. So this is quite misleading because you think this would be a very summery fragrance. This kind of has like a citrusy, aquatic bubblegum take on something like Stronger With You. It smells like the original Stronger With You, in my opinion, with that slight twist in the opening, but this is actually more of an ambery, woody, sweeter fragrance overall. More like a spring, autumn and winter fragrance. I would say 8 to 10 hours of medium projection. This is nice, youthful. If you want an affordable alternative to Stronger With You with an interesting twist in the opening, this is very good. I think it's very easy to wear. It still smells good quality as well. I think the recurring theme with the Odyssey line is a lot of them actually smell very good quality for the price tag. You'd be very surprised, and I think this matches that. So this, to me, I think I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I didn't write my rating in my notes, but from my full wearing of this fragrance, I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. Solid fragrance, not bad at all. Armaf Odyssey Wild One. So to me, this is an alternative to Dior Sauvage. This is Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette, but with a slight ambery twist. Very nice blend and very long lasting. I think I've got like 8 to 10 hours of medium projection with this. So in Armaf, in the brand, you have Urban Man Elixir, Club de Nuit, and this fragrance if you want a Sauvage alternative. I think those are the only current fragrances right now for Sauvage alternatives. Or the Sauvage replications. This is very nice. I think I probably slightly prefer this over Urban Man Elixir. Urban Man Elixir kind of goes more into the Prada Luna Rosa Carbon side of things. This has all the advantages of Sauvage. That little bit of amberiness makes it a bit more suitable for the evenings as well. So if you want a great, long-lasting, versatile fragrance, you can gonna smell attractive, get compliments. This will do it for you. A very good, affordable alternative to Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. Again, I think I would give this an 8.5 out of 10. Armaf's Odyssey Aoud. This fragrance was a bit disappointing to me because it's another Initio Oud for Greatness clone. I feel like every Middle Eastern brand has a clone of Oud for Greatness in their repertoire. I don't know, maybe I was getting tired of this DNA being replicated. It doesn't do it badly at all. I will say the opening is not my favorite. It's a little bit brash, but afterwards it gets very similar to Oud for Greatness, around 90% similar. It feels like Oud for Greatness is quite a straightforward DNA to replicate, it seems, because a lot of brands are doing it and doing it quite well, I think. So yeah, this is good, very good performance as well, 10 hours plus with a, I think, medium to loud projection, something like that. It's quite a beastly fragrance also. So overall, I'd say it's Oud for Greatness, but a bit more airy, a bit more musky. It's a solid fragrance. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10, but maybe I'm being unfair. That's why I wrote for my rating, but Maybe it's because I smell this DNA so much now, I'm being a bit harsh. Maybe 7.5 to 8.5, somewhere like that. If you want a good cold weather signature, this DNA works. You know it, it's the ultra fragrance DNA, it works. So this is not bad at all. Odyssey Tyrant. Now, I think this is the last fragrance I tried in my testing, and this might be one of the best, probably in my top 2 in the entire lineup. This is a very interesting idea. I even actually just want to re-spray it on myself. This is a risky idea. It can be tacky, this kind of idea. Now, Armaf actually kind of did this idea with Armaf Le Parfait. They made a 50-50 fragrance, 2 different DNAs together. That fragrance I wasn't the biggest fan of. I used to own a bottle that was a mixture of Creed Aventus and Green Irish Tweed in a DNA together. Interesting idea, but it didn't really work. I think it fell flat in execution. Odyssey Tyrant is, I would say, perfectly in the middle, 50-50 mix of Bulgari's Tiger with Dior Sauvage. Very interesting. It kind of works because those DNAs in general kind of have the same family and a similar kind of vibe. This is a really interesting DNA. If you like Turathi Blue, if you like Dior Sauvage, of course, if you like those really sharp, fresh, woody fragrances that are very easy to wear, a bit of ambroxan, a bit of lavender in here. There's grapefruit, of course, from what I remember in the note breakdown, but this is very good. This is very solid. This lasts easily over 8 hours as well, the medium projection. This is good signature material. I was really impressed by this. It's very easy to wear, clean, woody, masculine, soapy, a little bit soapy, very just easy to wear, a really good signature. I can wear this all year round, I imagine, day and night. These DNAs just work really well together. I think it's just a really interesting idea that works. It really did come together really nicely. I think it's quite sexy. Even just now, just smelling it off the cap, I'm just very happy to reapply it. I think this is a 9 out of 10. One of the best from the brand. Odyssey Spectra. So the packaging may give it away. So this is going to be a clubbing fragrance, I think. This is Ultramal, replicating that DNA, but it kind of is a bit more fresh. This, I would say, sits in the middle between Ultramal and After 9 PM. I think After 9 PM is a fresher take on Ultramal. This has that fruitiness, that bubblegum, that pear, that vanilla. There's some cinnamon in here. This is a good DNA for clubbing, but because it's not as intensely sweet as Ultramal, this is going to be more wearable. If you want like a casual signature, more in the cold weather, this is going to be suitable for that. I do think it's going to be competing against 9 PM because it's going to be in a similar price range. If you think 9 PM isn't sweet enough, you want more of that sweetness as in your alternative to Ultramal, your affordable alternative, then you can go for this. The longevity seemed pretty good as well. Yeah, I said 8 hours soft to medium projection, but maybe I was being unfair on the projection. Maybe it's more of a medium projection. And I would say wear this 3 out of 4 seasons, excluding the summertime. Overall, Odyssey Spectra gets an 8.5 out of 10. We'll finish off with the sweet fragrances, then the line will progressively get more and more summer fresh throughout the video. This is going to be a big one now. This is Odyssey Dubai Chocolate. And I believe this is one of the higher priced fragrances in the brand. I think this is a very new release. Maybe that high price tag is because of how new it is. So you guys may be seeing online that there is a viral Dubai chocolate, the kunafa with the pistachio inside. I've had a variation of that in London. Not very authentic, but yeah, I love it. It's very nice, delicious. I think that is very smart for a UAE brand to make a replication of that. I think that's such a smart idea to capitalize on that. It's a Dubai creation, make a Dubai fragrance. I think gourmands are fragrances that smell edible, like they're replicating food, for example. I think this scenario is exactly what gourmands are made for. Something fun, creative, something that just goes outside of the usual realms of fragrances. And I said Tyrant was one of the best out of 2. I think this is the other fragrance I think is one of the best in the line. I'm not a huge fan of gourmands. This to me is a fantastic gourmand. This has notes from what I remember now. It's got coffee, it's got chocolate. To me, it smells more like a milk chocolate, I would say, and the coffee smells quite dark as well. Of course, it has pistachio in there, but I think pistachio comes a bit later on in the dry down. So to me, this smells like a balanced ambery chocolate coffee fragrance that dries down to a slightly buttery take on the steam. I think the butteriness or the sugariness that you're getting there in the gourmand aspect of this fragrance is trying to recreate the kunafa in a way, which is quite a tricky food item to recreate. I think this is very creative. It becomes that sort of nutty pistachio effect comes later on. I think they did this really beautifully. This is very nice. I think this is unisex in the middle. I think anyone can enjoy this. This is more of a casual fragrance. You can wear this in casual environments with friends. go on a date with this kind of fragrance, go to the cinemas, I don't know, go clubbing if you want to as well. I think it's really sexy. This is an original creation, it must be. I don't really know how they can be replicating anything else. The only thing they're replicating is the Dubai chocolate. This is wonderful. I got around 6 to 8 hours of medium projection. I would wear this most of the year round, maybe not in the summertime, but yeah, this is a very easy to wear fragrance, which is quite tricky for gourmands. Very nicely balanced. I'd give this a 9 out of 10 as well. Next up, we have Armaf's Odyssey Mandarin Sky. Now, with a name like this, you might think this is going to be a very summery, fresh fragrance. In the opening, it smells orangey, mandarin, sharp, zesty, fresh, with a tonka bean, almost like skin lotion, sunscreen lotion kind of effect. It's very nice, very invigorating. That's the unique part of this fragrance. And then in the dry down, it kind of tricks you because it's a Scandale Eau de Toilette clone. It smells 90% similar to that. That fragrance is citrusy, woody ambers with a hint of caramel, with a bit of tonka bean. So that is a designer kind of fragrance, very safe designer, not overly complex, quite versatile, youthful, easy to wear. If you like Scandale Eau de Toilette, you'll like this fragrance. I mean, there's not much else to say. It's versatile, it's also long lasting. I think I got over 8 hours of this with a medium projection. This could be your signature most of the year round outside of the summertime. I gave this an 8.5 in my notes, but I'd probably give this an 8 out of 10. I think, you know, it's the Scandale DNA. If you don't want to pay that price tag for Scandale, this is a good affordable alternative. I think it smells very similar quality to Scandale in my opinion. Next up, we have my huge bottle of Odyssey Mega. This is bright, citrusy, herbaceous, woody, ambery. It might remind you of another fragrance just from that description. This is replicating YSL's Y. You see it in Fragrantica, people were saying this is YEDP. I would say this is more YEDT actually. It's more bright, summery, spring, fresh. I actually really like YEDT. I think it's quite an underrated flanker. I think this is just a really suitable, modern, kind of blue DNA that's very easy to like. I think it's nothing wrong with the 6 to 8 hours of medium projection. If you want a really handsome fragrance, that's a very good price. Again, similar quality to YEDT. You can try this out as well. I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10. I really like this DNA. Penultimate fragrance in the guide is Odyssey Aqua. Again, I think this is one of the best fragrances in the entire line. This, in the opening, smells minty fresh, very citrusy. I think it has the orange in there, some other citruses also. It's a bit aquatic, a little bit green, maybe because of the mint, a little bit modern, very modern actually. It's very easy to like. It has a slight bubblegum aspect to it, but not too much, because overall, I think they've toned down the bubblegum aspect of the original. This is replicating Invictus Platinum. I would say this is about 70% similar. I used to own Invictus Platinum. I think it felt a little bit heavy because of that absinthe note in there, which isn't in here, as well as the strong bubblegum aspect. I feel like they took all the best parts of Invictus Platinum, isolated it, and made a fragrance that's pretty much exactly the same quality, but a much better price. Seems to be very long lasting as well. I've written down how long. I said 8 to 10 hours of medium projection. To me, I feel like this would be a very easy to wear summertime fragrance. I think you can wear this also in the spring and in the autumn time, so it's good value for money, good quality, very good performance as well. I think it's very sexy. I think it just works. I think, yeah, this is kind of makes Invictus Platinum redundant. It's one of those clones that does that. I don't say that very often about fragrances, but yeah, I'm gonna give it props. I think this is very good. I might just keep this in my own summer rotation personally, actually. I think this is excellent. And lastly, Armaf's Odyssey Limoni. This is a relatively new release as well. I actually first experienced this fragrance in Dubai in the beauty world when Armaf invited me out there. We talked to the perfumer, had a mini workshop with him. He told us actually there's no lemon in here. This is a lemon fragrance without lemon in there. It's a lemon accord, so they recreated the scent of lemon. And I think they did that to elongate that feeling of lemon in the fragrance, because lemon is usually a top note that dissipates really quickly. As far as I know, this is a completely original creation. Lemony, smooth, musky, quite creamy as well. If you like that kind of vibe, like a more thicker, creamier lemon fragrance, you can go for this. This is in its own league. I don't really know any other fragrance that smells like this. Unfortunately, the performance is not the best, around 4 to 6 hours with a medium projection. But this is very easy to wear. Like, I think most people can rock this. It smells more masculine than feminine overall, I would say. It smells clean, smooth, good quality. It's not my favorite from the line. I personally give this a 7.5 out of 10 as of today. But online, or Fragrantica, people give this a much higher rating, so you actually might enjoy this. Maybe I'm just being a hater. So that concludes today's buying guide, guys, of Armaf's Odyssey fragrances. Have you tried this line? Has it been a line that's intrigued you? I feel like it goes a little bit under the radar compared to their more famous Club de Nuit line. And as I said in the video, guys, my top 3, I would say, is Odyssey Tyrant, which is the Sauvage Tiger mix, which is very interesting. I would go also for Aqua, which is Invictus Platinum just made better, in my opinion. It makes the original redundant, and it's a very long-lasting spring-summer fragrance. And of course, Odyssey Dubai Chocolate, which is a very creative idea of recreating the viral Dubai chocolate. As you can see, guys, none of the fragrances in the Odyssey line got a lower than 7.5 rating in my guide, but none of them got a 10 out of 10 either. I just kind of feel like this is a line that goes under the radar. They're very consistent, this line. It's just solid fragrance after solid fragrance. The vast majority of them have fantastic performance, and they just smell very good value for money for the price you're paying. They smell very good quality. Like if they're replicating even designer fragrances, they're usually doing it at 1/3 of the price of the original. Let us know your thoughts, guys, in the comments down below. Which fragrances have you tried or do you want to try from watching this buying guide? If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our previous Club de Nuit Intense Man Different Concentrations buying guide up here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.